1000 days in hardcore Minecraft came and went. I built myself a city with everything I could ever need, but I still wanted more. I'm all alone in a world where one mistake means losing it all. But I've survived 1000 days. What's one more throw of the dice? So of course we start on day 1001. My inventory was full of leftover junk from 1000 days, so that was really fun sorting it all out. Day 1002, I'm living Mr. Krabs' wildest dreams as I get rich by scamming innocent people. I had about 2 pieces of obsidian left and had to go gather more. With that done, I then flew through the nether to find some 1.17 chunks. I wanted calcite and I'll be using quite a lot of it in this video. Day 1003, I found a coral reef and I started stealing the wildlife. I then flew home before someone called the cops. As you saw in the intro, my plan for these 100 days is to transform my base into a medieval city. So let's get started on the first time lapse. This was the first house I built on these 100 days and I get a lot better at them by the end. Overall, it's a bit of a blob in terms of shape. It doesn't really have a shape even, it's a bit formless. Going for some white concrete, diorite and calcite on the walls, a really nice gradient you should definitely try out. We're also going for a dark oak wood roof. I actually ended up running out of dark oak for the roof and had to go gather more. I'm sure this is really entertaining. Here's the finished house, I'm happy with it. I headed into my trading hall and realized this lever wasn't working. I put that back. Day 1006, I put the villagers in so much debt they'll probably end up on Squid Game. I then started work on the second house of this video. This time we're going for some smooth sandstone and oak logs. Like the first house, we're going for a dark oak roof. Overall, I'd give this house like a 5 out of 10, it's alright. I then made a spare pickaxe and started beacon mining. I was going to need a huge amount of stone for this project. I returned on day 1010 with nearly 3 shulkers full of stone. I also needed to pay a visit to the prisoners. Listen mate, I'm playing a block game at 2 in the morning and I really don't want to have a staring contest with you. I then AFK'd my creeper farm all the way until day 1012. I planned out some more houses and textured the road. Day 1013, I began building another house. I didn't time-lapse this one because it's pretty small and I finished it by day 1015. I then started work on a much bigger house, which is actually going to be for my mending librarian. I decided to use some nether brick for the roof because this legend deserves something special. I added this extra window on the side and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I also ended up tearing down my old sugarcane farm. It's insanely ugly and I'm surprised it survived so long. Day 1019, I was planning out another building. Trust me, making a little outline for your builds in Minecraft is one of the best things you can do. It's so much easier than just diving in and then all of a sudden you've got the wrong shape and things don't line up. Just plan it out beforehand, you'll save so much time. Day 1020, I was just working on the road, which I'm sure a grand total of 0 people find interesting. I realized this tavern I built in 400 days desperately needed an improvement. It's not bad, but it's got a lot of minor issues that add up quickly. We're going to fast forward to a tour of the improved build. Right, so this is the tavern, it's all finished. If I just show you guys around a little bit, so we've got some, like a lot better texture on the walls here, it looks a lot cleaner. We've cleaned up the sides as well, we've got the cobblestone mixed in now, we got the shutters open like this, we've got some leaves. The chimney at the back is a lot nicer, it's more well made, it has just a much nicer shape. Good chimney. I like this chimney. But yeah, overall I think it's a much better build. It also did put a bit of extra detail into the roof. After that great tour, I went around gathering up all the shulkers I had lying around. I needed to sort out 18 shulkers full of items. This experience can be summed up in one word. Actually, I can't say the word or this video is going to get demonetized, so you can use your imagination. You're going to buy pumpkins and melons and you're going to like it. Because this building actually had a purpose, being that it was going to be a place for my mending librarian to live in, I decided to make it look nice. After all, this guy's been around since the original 100 days. I think he deserves a bit of luxury. After 40 minutes of paint, I was done. Not done with the paint, done with the interior. Moving villagers makes you want to bang my head on a wall. Get in your house. They're just stairs. Why won't you go up? Oh, he's in. He's in. I don't go to therapy. I just scam the villagers. I spent most of day 1025 gathering sand. Day 1026, I removed a ton of old farmland. I was a peasant once, but those times are long gone. I also chopped down a bunch of dark oak. With all the supplies ready, I began working on day 1027. As you're about to see by this time lapse, one of the best block palettes is regular oak logs, strip birch and spruce planks. I guess you could say they harmonize. I think that's the word. I got a C in art. I'm not exactly Van Gogh. My favourite part of this house is the front bit sort of jutting out underneath the main structure. I think it really does add a lot of character and helps to break up what would otherwise be empty space. I then started building a clock tower. I was making it up as I went along and I'm really happy with how it turned out. The dark oak wood is a really nice contrast to the stone, and the red roof is a key part of the build. I also added some windows jutting out at the tower, which I forgot to time-lapse. I'm planning on making a tutorial for this tower, so that video should be up in a few days. Day 1035, I did a bit of scamming and then started work on the next house. Day 1036, I had to pay a visit to my ocean monument to craft some dark prismarine. If it's used well, dark prismarine is a great block for a roof. If it's used well. Taking a look back to my 400 days video, well, your boy nearly went down a very dark path. By the end of day 1038, the house was done, and I'm happy with it. Day 1039, I was building more road. It's really not that interesting, is it? Day 1040, I was wrecking the wildlife. And the farms! When I'm texturing the roads, I think to myself, could this get any worse? Yes. Yes, it could. I'd rather move 100 villages than drain another ocean monument. Past trauma aside, at least the road's done. I spent the whole day trying to plan out some new builds. It wasn't going well. Day 1042, I flew out to find that coral reef. Then I got lost, but I found it. There is a reason why I'm getting coral for a city build. It will all make sense in a minute. I was also close to going bankrupt on calcite, so I had to sort that out. In order to get back home, I tried something I'd learned from watching Philza. If you're far out, just find the nearest stronghold. It's basically a free teleport back home. Money, I love money. With this next time lapse, you'll see why I wanted this yellow coral. When it's dried out, it goes grey and it's got a really nice texture. I've gone for dark oak wood and smooth sandstone for the palette, two of my favourite blocks. I kinda experimented with a window sort of jutting out at the top, but it didn't really work. I tried a few times but ended up taking it down. I've actually gone for a nice dark green on the roof. Definitely don't go for something loud or bright like lime, that would just look terrible, but a nice dark green really does match and go well with the dark oak. I added all the usual details like trapdoors and leaves, and overall I'm really happy with it. Starting off bright and early on day 1048 with some deforestation. I then started work on the most annoying building I've ever made. We've got some stripped jungle and spruce logs, pretty standard. I used oak stairs for the roof and I wasn't a fan. Tore the entire thing down and started again on day 1049. Tried some cobbled deep slate. It sucked. Tried the oak wood again. What is wrong with me? I then flew all the way to the jungle on day 1050. Maybe some jungle wood will fix my roof. And after that really long journey, I didn't even use the wood. But I did like the spruce though. Yeah, I wish that was true. Well, it's official. I've gone insane. How about some dark oak? I actually don't mind that. Let's go gather some more. Actually, I've changed my mind again. Oh, finally, something I like. Day 1053, I just finished up the minor details on the house. They might not seem that important, but trust me, they really are. Day 1054, I decided I wanted to fight the Wither. Good fight, mate. Good fight. No, you're not getting freedom. Now buy the melons and pumpkins. The next addition to the city was going to be some shops. They're crammed together, which I think gives that medieval look. I kind of based them off the shops from Harry Potter and Diagon Alley. I just really like the aesthetic it gives. In order to make some more space, I had to destroy this windmill I built in 400 days. It's not bad, but it's really over detailed. There's also the fact that windmills don't belong in cities. That's kind of crazy. I forgot to record day 1059, but you really didn't miss much. I literally just built the road. Day 1060, road. Enough said. Day 1061, I did some more planning and some more destruction. Mate, relax, don't explode. I spent all of day 1062 gathering resources. I wasted the entire night trying to dig a new tunnel to my nether portal. I already have one, I don't really know why I did that. Anyway, day 1063 I was gathering sand. I have no clue how I didn't pop a totem here. If any like airplanes are looking for a new pilot, sign me up. I heard some zombie villager noises and realized my mending librarian had been infected. I killed his bodyguard for doing such a bad job of protecting him. This next house is pretty much the same as the librarians, but we're using spruce wood and white concrete. I used diorite for a darker texture on the bottom and calcite for a lighter texture on the top. Overall, it's a decent house. Day 1067, I'm building another housemate. A thunderstorm kicked up, so I went out to gather heads. This baby zombie was like, "Do you want to play tag?" And I was like, no. I wanted some bricks, which meant I had to go shovel clay. I used to have some stonemasons, but we don't talk about them. Day 1068, I decided to decorate the street. I added street lamps, a cart, and some benches. Day 1069, I wanted to build a tree. Why? I don't know. It's a pretty good tree though. Then I gave him my little cousin. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to give this place a roof. There will be a shaders tour on day 1100, so we'll be able to see all the houses in full detail. Day 1071, I expanded the family tree. You know what, I'm gonna delete my channel. Day 1072, I did a lot of landscaping. Badly. Day 1073, it's been a good run, but it was time for me to take down this marketplace. Some of it's actually decent, but like the windmill, it's just in the wrong place. Throughout the night, I did more terraforming and planning. Day 1074, still planning. And the police are probably planning how to arrest me for deforestation. Day 1075, it's time for another time lapse. We're going to be using stripped birch together with dark oak for that strong contrast. This build also has an archway running through it, which I really like. A dark oak roof brings it all together, and overall I'm happy with it. I also added all the extra details, make sure you don't forget them. There's so much you can add to a Minecraft house beyond just windows and a roof. It's actually crazy how many people don't do this. Day 1076, oh my god, why is there so much stone in this video? Day 1077, I had to visit my ocean monument to craft more dark prismarine. I also restored my melon and pumpkin supplies, and you can probably guess what happens next. Let's forget all my crimes though, because it's time for, you probably guessed already, another time lapse. This first build was a fair bit different to all the other houses I've built so far. We've got these two huge faces of stone on either side, turning what would be a normal house into something much grander. I went for some stripped jungle wood with spruce planks, as well as a dark prismarine roof. If you've got any of your own ideas for who would live in this building and how it would look on the inside, let me know in the comments. I might just build your idea. Now for this next house, it has the quality of a filler episode from the Pokemon anime, which is most of the episodes to be honest. I didn't make this with any vision or idea, which just led to it being really boring. After that, I just did an absolute ton of planning. Instead of building each plan as I went along, I decided I wanted quite a few spread out so that I would have something to work towards. It's also really useful for visualizing where each street would lead, because when you've got a project this big, sometimes it gets hard to figure out where each street would go and where you'd end up. I had a grand total of about 3 stone blocks to my name, which meant I had to go beacon mining. I finally emerged on day 1087 and visited my happy citizens. They're not happy and I definitely don't count them as citizens, but it's close enough. Day 1088 I gathered up a ton of wood. This next time lapse is going to be a long one. For the first house, I went for smooth sandstone and stripped spruce. I used some birch wood at the top for a nice accent and it turned out well. Birch planks are some of the worst in the game, but occasionally they actually work really well. The second house is made of stripped spruce and dark oak. I know I already made a similar house for the librarian, but it was around 3 AM when I was building this, so we'll let it slide. I had to squeeze this third build in between the others, which meant its shape was really limited. I did the best I could, but not exactly my best work. Now for the fourth house, this thing did not go to plan. It starts off fine and I like the house design itself, but I added this tower on the top and it just gave me so much trouble. I redesigned the roof time after time, but just nothing seemed to work. It either looked too boxy or too flat. I tried every design I could think of and I'm sure there was something that would work, but at the end of the day I couldn't find it. So I just got rid of the tower. Our time before day 1100 is almost at a close, but we have time for one final time lapse. We've had a few pretty boring houses, so this final one had to be special. I used white terracotta for the base instead of the usual stone, and stripped oak with spruce for the upper floors. The entrance has some really nice depth, with an archway leading in. In order to bring the whole build together, I used orange stained glass. The warm tones of the glass match perfectly with the pale oak. We still have a few days left before day 1100, which I spent adding some more details to the city itself. But you know what? You don't want to see that. You want to see the final shaders tour. So here it is. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy. that is going to be it for the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. This video has taken me over 3 weeks of work to make, so if you could drop a like, it would really mean a lot. If you want to join my Discord server, the link's in the description, and if you want to see 1200 days, let me know in the comments below. Peace.